everybody, this is Angela here, and today I just wanted to talk about Thanksgiving because I know that a lot of people have toxic families like I do, and it's hard. So today I want to talk about a Thanksgiving Hoover that I just had, okay? And don't think that a narcissist is ever done with you, okay? Because these people, they live in their own alternate reality, and, they have, really strong audacity, and you're like, what the hell? They turn up in your life like a bad penny. So today I want to talk about my experience. I just recently had a Hoover. And I talked about this guy in the past, okay? This guy I'm going to give you the backstory. I did a video on him in one of my videos, from a few years ago. I'm going to try to find it and link it in the description box. I think the video was called, Is He a Narcissist or Just a Plain Mooch? Or both, okay? So this guy was like a plain mooch. So here's the backstory. I had dated this guy in 1996, okay? That's how long ago. So we're going way back. So I dated him for a couple years, and this was before I knew anything about narcissism. But this guy used to, take advantage. He just didn't respect boundaries, okay? And I don't want to get into all the details because, it's just a lot. And I don't want, an hour-long video. So, I, did not like the fact that every time, we went out someplace or whatever during the relationship, he was always trying to nickel and dime me. If we went to the store or something and he wanted to buy something, say I just accompanied him, and it was $5.65 for something, he would say, do you have 65 cents? Nickel and dime you for stuff like that. Ask me for money. Yeah, really, right? Just a plain dusty, really on that level, just a mooch, opportunist, narcissist. But, so we ended the relationship, and it ended pretty amicably during that time. I think I ended it, in the late 90s, 98, 99. But we remained friends, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when it comes to toxic individuals, they're not all toxic all the time. There were some good things, but the bad far outweighed the good, okay? So let me explain what the good things were. So during that time of our relationship, he helped me get a job. He knew somebody that was looking for a legal assistant, and he referred me to that person. That person hired me. So he got me that job, and I still work for this person to this day. So I was really grateful to him about that. And there was another time, when I was in between jobs, that he loaned me money. Okay, now he wanted the money back, and I paid him back his money, okay, when my income tax check came, okay, I did pay him back his money. But, with all narcissists, he kept the record of that in his head so that he can cash in on it at some other time when he needed to remind you, hey, you remember that time when I loaned you money? You owe me, you know what I'm saying? So you guys get that? So what happened was, it was the year 2011, late 2011, and I needed a place to go at the time, and he had a house, okay, and I was in between looking for an apartment, so he was like, well, why don't you stay with me? And, keep in mind, I was not romantically involved with this person since the 90s, okay? And here it is, 2011, and I mean strictly platonic since the 90s when we broke up. So here it is, 2011, and, you know, so I kept my end of the deal. I paid him his $100 a week. It was just myself. And, oh, my God, did he make my life miserable that whole, like, I lived with him for 8 months, and he made my life miserable. He would go around his house and pull everything out of electronics. Like, he would complain because I had my cell phone plugged in too long. Okay, that it was running up his electric bill. If I did a load of laundry, okay, I was running up his electric bill. I couldn't shower there because I couldn't shower at his house because I like felt like he would complain about using too much water. So I used to shower at the gym, and he would be extremely disrespectful to my boundaries. Now, remind you, I did not want to be romantically involved with him again, but he did, okay? So what he did was he became extremely spiteful. It was summertime, and it was like one of the hottest summers on record in 2012 where I live. And it was like over 100 degrees, and he didn't have like central air. He had wall units. So up in his bedroom, okay, he had the air full blast, and downstairs where I was sleeping on his couch at that point, and there was no air. Like, there was air conditioning downstairs, but when I turned it on, he would come down in the middle of the night and shut the air off. Yeah, just to make it miserable for me. So it's like, okay. So it got to the point where I had had enough and I wanted to move out. So I was looking for a place. I found a place, and, you know, so I found another place, and I said to him, I'm moving out at the end of the month. And he's like, he became enraged, said, no, you're going to get the F out now. Okay? And remind you, I had no place to go. So I found a place to stay temporarily until the place where I was renting was ready. And not only that, but this was on a Tuesday that he demanded me to leave. And he wanted $100 when I wasn't even staying there. Okay? For the whole week, he wanted $100. So just to shut him the F up, I gave him his $100, and we had a big blowout. Naturally, we had a fight, and I said, don't ever contact me again. I want nothing to do with you. Okay, fast forward, so I move out. So I'm walking down the street, down Broad Street one day, and I'm minding my own business. I'm having a conversation with a friend of mine on my phone, and he drives by me. He's driving down the street, and he sees me. He pulls the car, and this is a year later after I had moved out. He pulls his car over and jumps out of his car, scares me half to death, and berates me on the street, demanding that I give him an apology for the way I treated him. Okay? So long story short, like, I calmed him down, you know, because he was enraged, and I gave him a half-hearted apology, which I didn't mean, because I didn't know whether he was going to take a gun out and shoot me or stab me or do something. That's how psychotic he was. So I got really scared. So I turned around, and I wrote him a letter, and I told him, do not approach me on the street again. If you see me, pretend like you don't even know me. I do not want to speak with you. I do not want to have any contact with you. Oh, and let me just back up a minute. He kept on calling my cell phone. He kept on calling and calling and calling when I first left. And he would not stop harassing me. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with all this. I went to the cell phone company. This was before I got a smartphone where you could block them. So I went to my cell phone carrier and I totally changed my number. And I never got it. I never gave it to him or whatever. Now keep in mind that he does know my work number, okay? Because he got me the job with my boss. So, I turn around and, sorry, I'm gathering my thoughts. Okay, so I turn around and I sent him a strong letter basically saying, long story short, that he needed to go talk to somebody, a counselor or whatever, to get over this. And I gave him a half-hearted apology. I'm sorry for that, but I do not want you to bother me again. And if you do, I pretty much told him I was going to get a restraining order. Yeah. So that was the last time I heard from him. 12 years. Well, here it is. Okay, now keep in mind, this is 2012. 2013. 2013 this happened. Last time, no contact. I went hardcore, no contact. Fast forward 11 years later, he calls my job, okay? I wasn't there, and I'm checking my boss's phone number. And I get this crazy message on the voicemail, and it's from him. And he says, hi, Angela. He goes, you told me a long time ago that when I was ready to forgive you, to call you. I have a few things that I'd like to talk to you about. So I hope this message finds you in good spirits. So call me because I have a few things to talk to you about. Are you seriously kidding me? Are you seriously kidding me? Okay, so, here's what I did. I did nothing. I did not return his call. I did not freak out and get all bothered by it. I just did nothing, okay? So, no contact means no contact. But I'm going to tell you what I am going to do. If I already planned it out, if he calls again, I am going to lie to him. Luckily, like, my boss, doesn't really care about my personal business and what I do or whatever, because my boss kind of knows him, that he knows he's a little bit nutty, okay? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell him that I got married and that I moved to, I'll make up a state, Tennessee. And that I wish him well or whatever, but I'm married and I have no interest, and that'll be the end of him. So, I want to just tell everybody that if you think that a narcissist is ever done with you, never underestimate these people, especially if these people have turned around, okay, and they have used you. And they feel that they can use you for something. And let me tell you why he hoovered me. Every year on Thanksgiving, he would come over my house, okay? I always cook up a storm. I make pies. I overdo it, okay, with pies and stuffing and all the trimmings and everything. And he used to come over my house empty-handed, never offered to pay for $1, help himself to all my food, help himself to my leftovers. One time he took a whole pumpkin pie home with him, okay? This was years ago when I was dumb. And I just let him do it, okay? And griped about it. No, those days are over. So, no contact means no contact. Have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.